Hello, TandLers, and welcome back to TandL Talks, the podcast for, about, and featuring fabulous educators. Here we learn from the incredible educators and students shaping teaching and learning across our Start over. Hello, TandLers, and welcome back to TandL Talks, the podcast for, about, and featuring fabulous educators. Here we learn from the incredible educators and students shaping teaching and learning across our district. Today's conversation shines a spotlight on something truly special, our Spanish dual language program. You'll hear from Karina Wheeler and Christina Pizana, two passionate teachers from Dessie Evans Elementary, as they share what dual language really looks like in action, academically, culturally, and personally. We talk about bilingualism and biliteracy, the power of culture and identity, the importance of trust and community, and the long-term benefits of learning in two languages. Later in the episode, we hear directly from students. So awesome. Their voices remind us exactly why this work matters. Whether you're an educator, a family member, or just curious about dual language education, this episode is full of heart, insight, and inspiration. Let's get started. Hello, TandLers. Welcome back to TandL Talks. Today we are talking with two teachers from our Spanish dual language program. Welcome to TandL Talks, and could you please introduce yourselves?
Hola, everyone. My name is Karina Wheeler. I teach first grade at Dessie Evans.
Hola, Christina Pizana, and I teach fifth grade at Dessie Evans too.
Great. Well, again, thank you so much for being here today. I always like to start out these conversations by asking people to tell me about a teacher who has had an impact on you.
Ooh. Let's see. I would say my seventh grade geography teacher, Mr. Gibson, had a huge impact on me. He is probably the one that, it was kind of an awkward year for me. He really inspired me to just love the world and just branch out and be myself. And yeah, I really just enjoy learning about geography in general. So yeah.
Thank you.
Mine's probably going to be my fourth grade teacher, Mr. Wilson. He really just created a really nice, safe space, which I really needed at that time. And yeah, he inspired me to be a teacher.
I love that. This is my favorite part of these shows because I love hearing the impact that teachers have. We forget in the day-to-day work in our classrooms how impactful we are, but it makes a difference for kids today and for their future grown-up selves. So thanks for sharing. So tell us, what is the Spanish dual language program?
So it's where we immerse students in Spanish language and English language, and they get all of the subjects in both languages. So it's not like your typical high school Spanish class. So it's pretty cool because they get to learn everything in both languages.
It's very interesting because a lot of our families that come in, they have a different perspective about what our program is. A lot of them feel like, oh, this is a fun culture immersion program and they're going to learn a lot of different things. But really, yeah, what it is they're just learning the same thing that their counterparts are learning, but in Spanish. And I feel like it's not only learning, but it's culture. Our families are very, very well connected, embracing culture, embracing each other. So
I am monolingual, and I'm so jealous of all of you who speak more than one language. And I just think what a gift that is to give to kids, right? When they're so little that they're going to leave your school being bilingual. That's an amazing gift that you give them. So what does being part of a dual language community mean to you personally and professionally?
I just think it's really awesome, and I really enjoy it because it helps me bring my culture to my forefront. Because for so many years before I was a teacher, it was kind of like on the back burner where I could tell I was losing my Spanish. And so being immersed in it daily, it really brought it forward and made me kind of reconnect with myself and reconnect with my culture and my community. And I feel like dual language community has grown as part of my personality and who I am, and is built up my own personal community, not just school community. So it's been kind of cool seeing like how many doors have opened because of it.
I'd say ditto to what Christina said. It's interesting. You don't realize what a talent and gift you have until actually doing the job that you have to use that language. And so same with Christina. I wasn't using really any Spanish in my previous district. I was doing a lot of translation for families. And then when I moved here to the Puyallup School District, I was given the opportunity to really now use my Spanish and help open there at Dessie Evans, the dual language program. And it has really helped me to like embrace my Spanish and embrace my culture and understand who I am as a person a lot more. So it's been a great, like a little bit of a therapy actually. And I think I can say for a lot of our team, it's definitely helped a lot of us grow.
Right.
Really personally.
That is so special. I didn't ever think of that. So thanks for sharing that. So tell me, your students, are the kids who come to you typically half native English speakers, half native Spanish? Does it depend on the year? What is the makeup of your class typically?
I think it does depend on the year and also our location, because I feel like Karshner is so much different in their demographics compared to ours. I feel like over the years for me, I've had more monolingual English students than Spanish speakers. So it's an interesting dynamic in the classroom.
Ideally, what we would like to see is a third, a third, a third. So we'd like to see a third of our native Spanish speakers, a third students that are MLLs that are working on becoming bilingual, and then our traditional English speakers.
Great.
Yeah. It varies though.
What makes your program special?
I think it's just really big on highlighting culture, and it's created such a strong team within us. Like we all, I feel like, are friends outside of school too. So it's been really awesome. It's like everyone supports each other. We have a sense of community. And yeah, I just feel like Karina mentioned, like we're all just really connected with our families too.
I feel like in order to be a staff member in our program, you just have to connect with the team. And our team is, I feel like, very strong, very strong. And those that are new on our team, we just wrap them up and really help them, support them. So we've got our strong team. Our families are, oh my gosh, they're just amazing in every way. Very helpful, very supportive. A lot of them that come and volunteer, they say, oh my gosh, I couldn't understand what was happening here. And now I have a better understanding of how special this place is for my child. I'm so happy that I placed my child in the program. So
it's really like a school within a school, right?
Correct.
You've got, I think, 2 dual language classes at each grade level. Is that right?
Correct.
Up until fourth
grade.
Okay.
Yep.
And your school, of course, for people who don't know, is enormous. It's 1,000 kids overall. So you're part of your grade level team, but then you're also part of your dual language team. So
fun fact, I think we're the largest elementary school in Washington State. Maybe not currently, but I know 2 years ago we were.
I think you're right. Yes, it's huge. It's huge. What do you wish more families and educators understood about dual language education?
Oh boy. It's a process. Really, it's trusting your teachers, trusting the process. A lot of parents, I think, go in families assuming that their kids are going to be in 1 year and they're going to be bilingual. Oh my gosh, they're going to know both languages fluently, but it takes time.
Right.
It takes time. It takes practice. It takes dedication. Our families volunteer. They support at home with home learning. Our families are very good about communicating with teachers, especially if we have, kids that are working on needing to improve. But that's what our families need to know. This is not a translating. We're not translating everything that our English counterparts are doing. We're doing the heart work for sure. Different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a process. Like I still get parents worried to this day in 5th grade. And it's like, no, they're actually doing really good. It might not reflect on it, like on tests, because those are typically geared towards English. But it's just like, trust the process. They're definitely getting there. And
That lift is so big for your students. And I've learned so much about dual language just being around your team, going to the Dr. Jose Medina trainings. And I knew nothing about dual language before, but your students are learning 2 languages. So you're right. Sometimes that academic growth doesn't show up until a little bit later because they're learning in 2 languages. That's crazy to me. Can you talk a little bit about that allocation model and how that looks throughout the scope of an elementary career for a kid?
yeah, kindergarten, I think it's 90. So 90% Spanish, 10% English. And then 1st grade is.
We're an 80-20 model. Yep. So
Okay.
80% of our day is in Spanish instruction with 20%. 20% is typically their time that's spent outside at recess with their specialists that are English speaking only. We do some social emotional work as well. And then we do our 30 minutes of strict phonics every single day in English. That way they're catching up with their English counterparts. So.
And then 2nd grade is pretty similar to that. It's
70-30.
70-30. Third, and so it just kind of goes like that. So 3rd grade would be,
3rd grade is 50-50, I believe, or 60-40.
I think it's 60-40, and then 4th and up is 50-50.
Nice. That's so cute because older kids sometimes can get a little insecure, but kindergartners, they walk in. It's okay probably if they don't understand 90% of the words. They're going to dive in anyway because they're 5. They love that stuff. They're all in, right?
Those kindergarten teachers, let me tell you, they are magic in the way they move and the way they they're like on like a movie all the time. And the kids are like, oh yeah, you said sit down and grab my pencil or whatever it is. So it's very cute to watch.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. So how do you explain the long-term benefits of bilingualism and biliteracy to families?
I think the biggest thing is it opens up so many opportunities for their futures. Being bilingual and biliterate job-wise, I mean, that's how I got into the program. Because when I started, it was like COVID. So it was
Oh,
like
right.
I was struggling because I had just graduated and I was like, I need a job. And because I was bilingual, I was able to find something. So I think that is the biggest one. And they develop stronger cognitive skills because their brains are constantly practicing and switching between languages.
I definitely say the critical thinking skills that are taught and learned really in our program are huge. The fact that kids have to really make connections in both languages, because a lot of kids might not have those advanced concepts in Spanish. So they make a lot of connections with their English, therefore helping them to expand their critical thinking skills as well.
So paint us a picture of what your classroom looks like and sounds like on a typical day, knowing that no day in elementary school is typical. What does it look like in your classroom?
Oh, lots of energy, high energy. I do a lot of singing. I do a lot of hand movements. Right now, we're really focusing on our translanguaging portion, really helping those students to make connections between English and Spanish. So we talk about how I have an English hand, I have a Spanish hand, and when I put them together, I make connections and have a bridge. And and we talk about transparency within our language. So a lot of times during my SLA time, my math time, I'm making connections with the math vocabulary, using our hands as a bridge, putting them together. But a lot of times we'll do like a callback. I do a lot of callbacks, teaching them different concepts, teaching them different routines, different directions. But yeah, most of our morning is Spanish, our afternoon mostly Spanish, and then about 2:45, like when my 1st graders come in, they know it's English time. That is the very last part of our day. So, yeah.
And for me in 5th grade, since it's 50-50, we do an A week and a B week. For example, A week, we start out our morning with Spanish. So usually I try, in an ideal world, it would have been like only Spanish up until lunchtime. And then in the afternoon it would just be English, and then week B would flip. So they get every single subject in both languages. So I would start out the morning with, if it was Spanish morning, I usually do some sort of Spanish class family journal prompt. And then we do our Caminos lessons, so the CKLA. And then whatever we don't finish, we go into our ELA. So they have to use their translanguaging and pick up where we left off in the opposite language. So we do a lot of bridging moments and bridging tasks, so really just making those connections throughout the entire day. And yeah, I feel like we do a lot of community building and community circle and working with our 3 pillars, being bilingual, biliterate, and then the high academic achievement is really big in 5th grade because they're older kids. So it's like, okay, how do you want to apply this week? And then social culture competency, they do a lot of that as well in my classroom. And oh my goodness, they're just so cute because this year we do class celebrations and they have to earn those. But this year they have been on a roll with picking different countries for each party.
I love that.
So Friday we're having a Japanese party. We've had a Mexican party, a French party. So really, that's just a really big thing in my class this year. And it's just so
cute.
cool to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you build a learning environment where your students feel confident using both languages?
Honestly, I think first and foremost, establishing those relationships. I mean, that doesn't matter any classroom. And establishing the relationships, building that trust. A lot of times with the translanguaging, it's telling the students, you're speaking to the language of your heart. If today, I'm sorry, I just don't have the words. I just don't have the words quite yet in Spanish. Okay, use your English today and I will help you with your Spanish. So really just building a classroom community of trust, honestly, and just building relationships with those kids and learning what motivates them to speak. I see a lot in 1st grade. I have a lot of shy ones. So really finding things that motivate them and really helping, especially my non-speakers. Well, this is what you would say, why don't we practice together? Or if I have to pull a student one-on-one, we go over and we practice how to say it in Spanish.
Yeah, we do a lot of creating a safe space.
Yes.
And it's okay to make mistakes, especially if you are trying your best to speak the other language. It's okay. And just like you said, the trust, the community, they are basically siblings at this point when they get to 5th grade
Right.
because they've
Yes,
been in
they
the same
are.
class. So they all have each other's backs, and they I don't know how to say that word in English. Never mind. Apoyan a sus amigos. They support them. They encourage them.
Yeah.
And making it just very comfortable and exploring that. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, that safety is got to be really huge, especially in your program, that willingness for kids to take risks.
Yep.
Yep.
Providing a lot of opportunities, I would say, also providing really fun opportunities for them to speak to, I think encourages. They're like, we're talking about something fun. It's not just learning, but we're also getting to know one another, what each other's likes are, dislikes. We do questions in the beginning of the day where it's just fun things that make connections to home. Where they're like, I did this before. And then they have conversation, which really supports also the safety and climate in the classroom.
Yes. What are some of your favorite instructional routines or strategies that support biliteracy in your classrooms?
I really enjoy the bridging that we do in the classroom, the bridging moments, on the spot, having them transfer into the opposite language, or even the bridging tasks where they have to do something in the opposite language, because it's really cool seeing them kind of come together and working through that and reaching into their different language bubbles. I think it's really awesome to see in the classroom. And then for the older kids, complex language and our bridge level 1 and 2 charts, and them adding to it. And it's because it's it's a living poster in the classroom.
Right.
And so they even can go up and write on there. So it's really cool.
For me right now in 1st grade, we are huge on cognates. So cognates are words in English that sound the same in Spanish. And my kids, we have a song and we have a movement. So anytime we're we're in a lesson, we're in, whatever part of the day we're in, the kids are identifying words that are cognate. So today, for example, we're doing SLA, and right now we're learning about how the United States came about, and we're talking about George Washington. And so we're going over our vocabulary. So they're like, they use their bridging hands. Oh, presidente, president. And they go, gognados, gogna. And they know they take their hands, and we have a chart up in the board, and the kids get to write the cognates up on the chart, and they get really excited when they find those words that sound the same in both languages.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Can you share a story about a student whose growth stood out to you, either academically or socially or culturally?
I would say, okay, this year I have a little girl, so sweet, native Spanish speaker, came to school very scared. Just, I don't want to speak. She just sat hoping that I would pass her. So I've really worked hard on really establishing a relationship with her. I have a lot of jobs in class where kids are able to be a leader, able to do things. And she is now asking me, I want to be calendar helper. I want to speak. A lot of times I give them opportunities as a teacher, to either read the story of the lesson or read over the vocabulary words for today's lesson, or for math. Get started, we're going to do an equation warm up of some sort. And she's doing a lot more participating. And I've noticed her scores have increased. That confidence you see is building. And it's just, man, when those shy ones, when they're coming out and they're talking, it's like, okay, this is the best. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm in this job, even though it's so hard some days. But yeah, it's definitely very reassuring.
Yeah, I have something pretty similar. Like, I had a student who was always very emotional, very she would shut down and just really refused to even speak Spanish because she was a native English speaker, and just very shy, quiet. Conferences, parents were worried. They're like, what do we do? And throughout the year, she kind of opened up some more, and she started responding and raising her hand and using her language, her Spanish language. And I have not seen a tear in months.
Oh, yeah.
And so really she's just more confident, and she's still kind of hesitant. It's like, no, you said that right. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. And so really, I feel like a lot of my kids are just kind of growing so much, and her in particular, because I had her in second grade too when I taught second grade. And it's just night and day. And it's so awesome to see her just kind of taking ownership of that and just feeling comfortable and confident in her abilities now, and academically as well. So
What role do families play in supporting the program, and how do you strengthen those homeschool partnerships?
we have DL specific events that we do, which I think really help strengthen that home and school partnerships. Like we do at the end of the year, we do a dual language picnic where we combine the schools. We do the Day of the Child celebration, which is amazing. Seeing both schools come together, we do kind of carnival games, and families are helping out with everything. So really, it's just a huge sense of community with across all of the schools that have dual language here. It's really cool to see.
I would say, especially for our team, communication with our parents is super important, keeping them in the know about what are the kids learning in the classroom, how can they support. I know some teachers will send home stories that we're reading in class, math games that we're playing during our lessons. That way they can establish that connection of what we're doing at school. I know a big thing too is really involving our parents and getting them to volunteer. We have some amazing parent volunteers. They come in and they have a tremendous gift of just helping and knowing Spanish. And even our English speaking parents, they come in, how can I support? How can I help out? And it's great because we have a lot of those parents that are our advocates. They're going out going, have you set foot in the classroom? You probably should, because I don't think you have any idea of what is going on, and it's just magic that's taking place. So yeah. our parents are pretty awesome.
They are.
Yeah, we're very blessed. Very blessed.
So dual language is an asset-based approach. How do you see that show up in your students' identities and their confidence?
I would say, so I know in first grade, we work on a lot about identity and who we are, where are we from? What is my family? We talk about who is my family, who are the members of my family, and where are they from? So a lot of that really helps our kids to even find their identity. It's kind of hard in first grade. They're like, you mean who am I? And so a lot of times it's having to do a lot of teaching about, like Senora Wheeler is half Colombian, half Mexican. Part of my family's from here. But so teaching the kids how to identify who they are and where they're from with the support of their parents, figuring out, okay, what are some traditions you guys follow at home? And that we try to carry on into the classroom to really celebrate the kids' culture. And you don't have to be of Hispanic culture to be in the dual language program. It's anybody. It's our class.
Completely agree with that. Identity is huge, especially as they're getting older and they are taking pride of who they are, really showing their true identities and how like their little quirks and everything and being proud of it. And I think since we have created that safe space, it gives them the ability to explore their identity and their culture and sharing things in the classroom like, hey, I went on this vacation, I did this, can I share it, can I present to the class? And it's like, yes, of course. So yeah.
What have you learned as an educator through dual language instruction about language, culture, or yourself? And you both spoke about that at the beginning, but is there anything else you want to add? What have you learned?
Even on your worst days in the classroom where you feel like, man, that lesson really tanked, or man, I had, I'll have students with high emotions, or even on your worst day, like you're still making a difference in some way, and to not give up, just to keep on going and just always focus. For me, I'm always trying to focus on the positive. Like, okay, what went well today? What will go well tomorrow? What can I do better tomorrow? So that's my motto, at least.
Like I mentioned, just really appreciating my background and my culture a lot more. And also that language goes a lot deeper than what I thought coming into this job, because I knew Spanish from my household, but I didn't study math and all of these things in Spanish. So now it's like having to teach it. It's like, whoa. It's pretty complex. It's a lot of work.
Yes. Even though you were fluent in Spanish, you had to learn how to use it in a whole different way, right?
And how to teach kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
What advice would you give to a teacher who's new to dual language or considering joining the program?
I think we had talked about this. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Be Dory the fish. Just keep swimming. It's going to be okay.
It seems like a lot at first,
right?
But it's definitely worth it. And also lean on your DL community. We are here to support each other. Like whenever we have a new member on the team, we're always popping in like, hey, how are you doing? What do you need? Like, how can I help you? So really just leaning on each other is really big.
I also love how a lot of our teammates, especially our new ones, have such high expectation to be. They have to know all the curriculum. They have to have all the classroom management techniques down. And it's just take it one day at a time. It's going to, you know what? Master one thing. If you can master one thing, great. You know what? You are halfway there. And you know what? There's always a list of things that can be improved on. So just take it one thing at a time and be Dory the fish.
What hopes or dreams do you have for the future of our Spanish dual language program?
If you don't use it, you lose it. Always use your language to some benefit. To either benefit of yourself, to a benefit into your community, helping others in some way. I feel like this position has really opened a lot of doors of opportunity for me. So helping my students understand, if when you become bilingual, when you are bilingual, the doors of opportunity will open like tremendously. So
Yeah, I think the program in itself is such a cool opportunity. Like, I wish I had this in my elementary school growing up.
me too.
So definitely take advantage that it's here because I think it's so cool. And like you said, like it opens up so many doors for children. And I'm excited to see how it is going forward, like once they hit high school, because we don't
Right.
have a cohort that has graduated yet. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. Like being around since the beginning, seeing these kids like get to that point is going to be so cool.
What will success look like for your students, not just this year, but like 10 years from now?
It all goes back to the 3 pillars of dual language.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be our measure of success. Are they biliterate? Are they bilingual? How their high academic achievement and social cultural competence, like being able to apply that in life and still hold that true to their hearts.
I would say our 3 pillars for sure would be a great measure of success, and also really thinking, are you using your language to better yourself, better and help other people, or for the better of human good? Just using language for some better opportunity for sure. So that'll be a measure of success for sure.
Yeah, continuing up.
Yeah.
Continue learning.
So, if there's a family out there who's listening and they're considering Spanish dual language, what would you tell them?
Trust the process, and it's an amazing opportunity to do it.
I would say, welcome. We are so glad you're here. This is such an amazing opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yes. So definitely take advantage of this great opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you both for being here today. I've appreciated your time and I've loved hearing about your program. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
I have some other guests today to talk about dual language. We have a couple of students who are currently students at Dessie Evans in the dual language program. We have Oliver. Hi, Oliver.
Hi.
And we have Kayla. Hi, Kayla.
Hi.
Can you two just tell me, what do you like about the dual language program?
My favorite thing about the dual language program is that it's just, if you really just want to speak Spanish, they do more events and stuff. And also, it's just pretty fun.
Yeah.
I really like that I have the opportunity to communicate with more people and translate for different people.
Yes.
For example, new students that aren't as well in Spanish. Yeah.
Nice. Anything else you want to share about your classroom or your program?
No.
All right. Thank you both for being guests on TandL Talks. Oh my gosh, what a powerful conversation. Today we heard how dual language education is so much more than learning in 2 languages. It's about identity, confidence, community, and opportunity. Karina and Christina reminded us that bilingualism and biliteracy are gifts that grow over time, supported by strong relationships, trusting families, and classrooms where students feel safe taking risks. And hearing from Oliver and Kayla brought it all home. Students who are already using their language skills to connect, to lead, and to support others. That is the promise of dual language learning in action. Thank you to our guests for sharing your stories, your expertise, and your hearts. And thank you to the dual language educators, families, and students who make this work so special every day. To our TandLers listening, if you're curious about dual language education, we hope this episode gave you a deeper understanding of both the process and the payoff. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep centering students. Thanks for listening to TandL Talks.